My hub's mom doesn't care about her two sons. My hub and I have been together just shy of 5 years. The entire time we've been together his mom either obsesses over dumb things in his life or doesn't care about him at all. She got mad at us for not telling her we bought a house. We had told her that we were looking to buy a house a few months prior and she laughed at us like we were joking. After that we went NC pretty much because my hub refused to reach out to her and she never messaged him. We posted a picture on FB of us standing on the front porch holding the keys and she called my husband fuming that he didn't tell her. Along with the "what's your mortgage" we wouldn't tell her and jokes on her we bought it outright. It's a mobile home that we got a steal on, so it's not that special, but it's in better shape than her house and a lot newer. Again we went NC until around Christmas, which stirred up more shit, and so every few months up until now. We just hosted my hub's little brother's 16th birthday at our house. Along came more questions about the house and our cars because we both drive nicer vehicles. Not brand new but nice. It became about us and how we do it all. Then it becomes all about Mill, her great vacation that she just went on and road trip she's about to go on with her 13-year-old daughter. We asked when they were going and she told us it's for a week and she won't be home for little brother's actual birthday. He's staying home to watch their 7 dogs while Mill's husband is at work. All goes well and little brother's birthday comes along. My hub and I sent him happy birthday messages. Mill only reposted his 15th birthday post, the same day she posted pictures of her and little sister at the zoo. We didn't say anything and left it alone. Maybe little brother didn't want a huge post about it? Either way, it kind of irks me that she's started treating my hub and his little brother this way over her daughter. It seems like they're always doing stuff with her or getting her things and posting pictures on Facebook about it. My hub is over it and doesn't care anymore, but I can't help but feel for his little brother. Comment. With all due respect to the other poster, you're not his manager, not his therapist. It's not your job or business to repair or even facilitate his relationship with his mother, and if, as you've actually very eloquently pointed out, that would be something she would be annoyed and baffled by, it wouldn't work anyway. Meanwhile, does he even want that? I mean, a mother-slash-child relationship can be one of the closest in the human lexicon, and I say that as an identical twin, but tons of people who should never even contemplated it end up having babies. Expecting a loving, supportive, and rewarding relationship out of someone who spent 18 years waiting for you to age out of being their responsibility and fuck off is a recipe for disaster. So don't help unless specifically requested to. Meanwhile, I've met many a parent who think of themselves as the pinnacle, intellectually, financially, socially, of their families, and they usually end up outraged when it becomes clear they're being outshined and surpassed. She laughed and didn't even bother putting into long-term memory you two's wackadoodle fantasy that you could buy your own home. Obvious sarcasm alert for the less quick on the uptake. It's hard because we are told our mothers are supposed to be sacrificing and invested in our success. Some aren't. She doesn't sound like she is, and it sounds like she's got some issues around gender. Just acknowledge and validate that. It seems to me that your Mill is hurt about the relationship with her sons for some reason, and she and your husband never talk about it, which is not good. Maybe they were close at one time, maybe not, but their relationship now is fractured and distant. They would need to talk about it to work it out. You seem extremely critical of her, maybe with good reason, but if you don't like her, then you wouldn't be able to help them mend fences. Hopefully they will sit down together, maybe at her house, and talk it out. If this continues, and she passes, I think they will be heartbroken at the loss, no matter how they feel right now. Next story 2. Mill wants to control all aspects of home decor design. My boyfriend recently purchased a home that his mother had a strong influence in choosing. Coming from a more affluent background, he was able to buy the home outright. While it's a lovely property, it does require some updates. Initially, I thought the house needed quite a bit of work, but his mother's interest led him to buy it, which raised some concerns for me. She mentioned that she could envision herself living there once it's fixed up. Before we even got the keys, she was very eager to discuss colors, themes, and fabrics. Her involvement extended to frequent calls, even during my work hours, to deliberate on these matters. I find it challenging, however, as her preference is that I consult her before making decisions like purchasing furniture or changing flooring. My boyfriend fully supports her input and tends to agree with her on most aspects. When I attempt to communicate my concerns about her controlling behavior, he doesn't seem to grasp the issue. He points out that her previous house decorating efforts led to quick sales and sees no problem in it. This is our forever home and we don't plan on selling it. I'm feeling uncomfortable with the level of involvement she has, and it's exacerbated by my boyfriend's close bond with her. As I reflect on the situation, I'm beginning to feel uneasy about the dynamics between them. I'm seeking advice on how to navigate this situation. How can I address her controlling tendencies, particularly in the context of house decorating? Despite her wealth, she isn't offering financial or cleaning assistance, which we don't want, for the expensive furniture pieces she wants me to buy. She appears to want to delegate tasks and my boyfriend seems influenced by her opinions. When I've tried to assert myself, she tends to overlook my perspective and continues as if I hadn't expressed my thoughts. I've tried to express appreciation for her help while indicating that I have matters under control, but my efforts seem to go unheard. Any guidance on how to handle this situation would be greatly appreciated. Also, her gave her a key the house. So pray for me. LOL. Thank you. Comnet. Stopped reading after you said mommy's boy fully supports her input. This relationship will not go well for you. You will be the side piece that gives sex and will have no say-so whatsoever in your married life. Time to find a man who will put you and the family you start first. Mommy's boys do not grow up. I'm so sorry. You have a so problem. He owns the house and you do not get any say about the decor. He is totally happy letting his mother be in charge. The ball is in your court. You don't have to live there to be overlooked and ignored. Call his bluff. Tell him if you're not equal partners and if you don't get a say in the home, you will leave. See what happens. This is the truth. She is decorating this house for her and her son, not you and her son. She doesn't see you as part of the picture. You are just this annoying little gnat flitting around bothering her, but she just chews you away and goes on as if you don't matter. Because you don't. I hope you are listening carefully to what everyone is telling you here. Mom doesn't think what you think is important and neither does your boyfriend, because they are their own little unit and you are the outsider. You are immaterial in this scenario, and that's not going to change. Just tell your BF honestly that you don't feel comfortable putting money into a home that your name isn't on the deed and you don't feel comfortable putting money into a home where there's someone outside the relationship and home who is making more decisions on it than you are. It sounds like this is BF and Mill future home and you're just the guest. Next story 3. Don't know what to do. Here I am. 15Y married and has been always the same story. When I met my Mill I was told she had depression, so silly me tried to help, buying her healthy food, taking her to our house, trying to cheer her up, until one day I started to realize she was taking advantage of it. Called me to say that she didn't like the brands I was choosing for her grocery, with my salary, instead I should buy this and that brand, of course the most expensive. Also noticed she was jealous to the point that whatever my husband, only son, was buying for me he had to buy for her too. Fast forward, our relation has been cordial because I have been educated that way. Found out that her depression is a mental problem, that she lied saying she was under treatment when she was not, and I had her every few months in my house with my kids. I always notice her not so friendly look when my husband is not around, and she will never ever pay for something or say thank you, or help you around the house. Lately when she got her attacks she used to call me and insult me and call me names. We luckily moved abroad and I blocked her. For the last 2 years I have been visiting my family in my hometown with my kids, but my husband always found an excuse for not to come. Last 2 weeks we have been in my hometown without him, and now we go to his hometown and he travels directly there. He is asking me to go and have breakfast with his mother. This time I said no. As we are in a hotel, of course she wouldn't have us in her place. I told him I will just stay in the room. He is now mad at me and not talking to me because I refuse to see his mother. He found excuses for not to see my family for the last 2 years, and mind you, they are asking me what they did wrong and why he doesn't visit anymore. And I always end up forgiving his mother so he don't suffer, but what about me? Why I have to be polite with someone who hates my gut? I know she has a mental condition, but that doesn't give her free ticket to insult, hurt, or lie about someone. And my husband doesn't understand that her pretend guilt about last thing she did will last only until the next one. Because there is always a next one. I am so tired. Comment. Why should you see his psycho mother if he won't see your family? He's an asshole. Your mill uses depression as an excuse to take advantage of you. I understand you are so exhausted because of your mill. I would go and see. You don't have to be good to a person like this. I suspect DH wants you to go with him to serve as his artillery shield. He wants you to take the hits, not him. Gee, what a guy.